Today I'm going to talk about the Ecobee thermostat. This thermostat is a smart thermostat. It's Wi-Fi enabled. It's much like the very popular Nest, and there's other brands out there that do the same thing. But I found that when I saw the Nest, I wanted to put something like that in my home. But I did a little more research and found that this Ecobee smart thermostat had more to offer for me. It was a little more expensive, but I think it does a lot more, and odds are if you're watching this video that you probably have noticed the same thing. So this thermostat also has a mobile app. So if you fire up the mobile app, it gives you pretty much the same interface that the thermostat has. And it's completely controlled over the internet. If I just change that, it'll wirelessly update and change my thermostat in my house. And this is all over the internet, not the intranet. I'm not hooked up with Wi-Fi. I'm hooked up, just over the internet. That's just the way it works. So I'll just resume, and it'll change it back. So now I'll talk more about how to wire it, and we'll go down into the basement and show you the furnace. Here's the Ecobee equipment side of the thermostat, and it's attached to my cold air return. I'll show you how I screwed it in, I'll show you how I wired it up and everything. First I just wanted to point out how my thermostat was set up originally. So if we come over here, we'll see two thermostat wires, and they're coming up from upstairs. And what happens is one of these goes straight up to the wall, and that's where my thermostat is. And this other one here goes all the way out to my air conditioning. Basically, it's just taking 24-volt AC power to the AC. But this is the one that you're going to be interested in. It's coming from your thermostat upstairs. So it used to come all the way down and into the thermostat, or into the furnace, and it controlled the furnace. But what we're going to do is we've bypassed it. We have taken it off of the furnace, and now I have come all the way over here to the Ecobee equipment. Then the Ecobee equipment is going to come out to the thermostat upstairs, and also to the furnace. So this is going to be in series with your thermostat and your furnace. So let me go to the furnace. This is the inside of my furnace. So I just want to stress that you need to turn off the power when you're going to do stuff like this. There's a breaker in your breaker box marked furnace, and go ahead and power that off. And also when you take off this cover, there's going to be a switch on the door that will also turn the power off. So here's what I've done. I had here's these two two brown wires that came in. They're the thermostat wires. One of them was just power for the air conditioning unit, and the other one was the thermostat wires. So here's all your thermostat switches, and as before, they were probably all hooked up: green, blue, white, yellow, and red. And in this case, I don't know if you can see it, but these two wires right here, the red and the white wires that are connected, see how the blue and the white here, well, this happens to be the common, and then this red one is hooked up to this yellow. This happens to be for the AC. So when the AC turns on, this right here picks up 24 volts AC to the air conditioning unit outside. So that's okay. Leave that there. That's that one wire. That's the one wire here that goes to the AC. This is the one that we installed. And what I did is, instead of putting in 18 gauge 5 wire, I chose the 18 gauge 7 wire. And the reason why I did that is because it gave me 2 extra wires, and with those 2 extra wires I tied off of the 24 volt AC that is coming out from the system. So in here there's a transformer block, and that transformer block takes 110 power in and it converts it to 24 volt AC out. And usually there are 2 plugs on here that take that 24 volt AC from the transformer. And in this case, they were this red and this blue line. And see this black and this white line are the 110 going in. This is the 24 volt AC coming out. So those were attached directly to the board. So I pulled them off the board, cut them, and then put this 3-way connector on them. And out of that 3-way connector, I ran it right back to the board, and also tied in those extra 2 lines so that I could get 24 volts AC coming out. That's important because the Ecobee equipment side needs 24 volts AC to run. And most people usually plug it into an outlet, but I didn't want to plug it into an outlet. I don't have one down here. It's just a little more convenient for me to pull it off of the 24 volt AC that the furnace already has. Every furnace has this. So once that power's been done, then it's just a matter of hooking up your color codes, green to green. Your common is usually blue, and that's your closed switch back. All these are switched, right? So this is your white, your yellow, and your red. Pretty easy. Now what was here before, we took all the wires off before and ran it up to the Eco equipment, and I'll show you how that is here in just a minute. Well, I apologize for the light and also for the shaky camera. I really should get my tripod, but hopefully this won't be too long. So here's the inside of the Ecobee, and the Ecobee equipment side. This is right on. I've attached this with the recommended number 6 screws, and I chose the 5/8 length so that it'll go all the way through here, no problem, and attach well. It's pretty easy. I just pre-drilled a very small hole, like an 1/8 inch hole, and just powered in the screws, so holds very snug. So in here, there's, for a single stage cooling and heating, I only had to do basically 3 different wire hookups. One of them was the 24 volt AC power that's required. You can either hook it up here or right here with a power jack, but I chose to take it right off of the furnace. So that's pretty convenient for my setup. Here's all the thermostat wires that we had down below. So basically from the furnace, I came up here with this one wire, and it's that 7 wire, 18 gauge wire, and I used all 7 wires. So the yellow to yellow, white to white, green to green, red to the red heat side, red H, and see, it's got a jumper in it. It goes to the red cool side, and then this blue one is the common, and it goes way down here. So those 5 thermostat wires, and then because I bought the 18 gauge 7 wire, I had 2 more wires, and with those 2 ran over here into the 24 volt AC. So that's done. Ecobee equipment to the furnace complete. Now we need to run from the Ecobee equipment to the Ecobee upstairs. So right here, this wire right here, this is the original wire that came with the house. This used to go all the way to the furnace. This part was attached to the furnace before, and went all the way up to my old thermostat. So I took these wires off the furnace, and I brought them over here. Now, what's interesting about this setup is it doesn't matter what the color code is. This is Ecobee exclusive coloring. Basically, all you have here is 12 volt positive and negative DC and a data line, data plus, data minus. So it's not the same as your regular thermostat. So I just chose red for my positive, white for my negative power, and then blue for my positive data and yellow for my negative data. So this wire again runs all the way upstairs to the Ecobee, and I'll show you that. I'll take that apart and show you that. So let me show you this too. I'll hook it back up and power it up so you can see the light configuration. So here it is with the light configuration. Basically, I put the cap back on, and at first the red communication light was on because it was just powering up. But now we're all good. If all these other lights are off, that's good. Just this one green light on, that's what we want. So let's go upstairs. So here's the Ecobee thermostat that I've unattached to kind of show you the back. So on the back you can see that it's just 4 wires. They're 12 volt, positive, negative, and then or data, positive and negative. And over here on the left you see that there's a power outlet. Don't get scared like I did. It doesn't require that. That's only, I think, for demo purposes, to demo this without having a furnace connected to it. So all you need are those 4 wires. So as you can see here on the plate identifies which wires is what in this configuration. And you can see mine was a 5-wire system, and I just cut that 5th wire and left it hanging out. It's not needed. It's not connected downstairs. It's not connected up here. And again, I just wired up red to 12 volt positive, white to 12 volt negative, then blue to my data positive, and yellow to my data negative. And basically that's it. So all you have to do now is just connect this. If I can do it one-handed here. And it'll take a minute to upload, but that's it. Wiring made easy.